Recycling is so dreamy, so easy, so clean, so effective. Why confuse things? Let's just focus on ensuring 100% recycling rates for all plastics and we're sorted. The problem is, it won't work. It can't work. And here's why. Globally, of all the post-consumer stuff we've used, plastic waste, 3/4 is thrown into landfill or the environment. 14% of it is burnt, some in waste to energy, some just to get rid of it, and only 10% is recycled. Of that, 4% is lost in the process. 8% is downgraded, recycled into lower quality items. So that leaves the 2% of global plastics that are recycled into new equivalent value products. 2% of the 400 million tons of plastic we produce every year. But let's not get stuck on the what. We're here for the why. Why do we have such abysmally low recycling rates? Issue 1. Not all plastic is recyclable. Time for a spot of reality.
A study showed that in the average weekly shop, 21 to 40% of the plastic packaging wasn't recyclable.
Oops. Chemistry time. No, don't worry, we've used up all the archive footage. There are 2 main types of plastic: thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastics are made up of long straight polymers like our cooked spaghetti. They can be melted and formed into other products. However, thermosetting plastics, as the name suggests, set once they are cooled and cannot be melted again. This is because they have cross chains between polymers. Imagine I take some super glue, and no, I'm not going to do it because I've learned that lesson already. Guys, it's happened again! And glue each strand to the other strands, like this. The polymers no longer slide around over each other. They are fixed in place. Issue 2. All the plastic that is recyclable has to be carefully sorted and separated. And sorting isn't possible when a single product contains more than one type of plastic. For example, the body of this water bottle is made of PET, but the lid is made of polypropylene. They'd have to be separated. How often do you remember to take the lid off? And who even knows what to do about this annoying ring thing? A lot of plastic packaging even contains layers of different polymers, with each layer providing different properties like printability, alongside good barrier properties. So you couldn't separate that, even if you tried. Anyone curious to know what does happen if they aren't separated correctly? I said, anyone curious to know? These bottles are made of PET, but this tiny safety wrap is made from a different plastic, PVC. PET melts at a higher temperature than PVC, so if any PVC gets into the PET recycling stream, it gets heated too much and the C, which stands for chlorine, forms hydrochloric gas. Yes, the same thing as stomach acid, which degrades the PET polymers. Now, PVC isn't used much in food packaging anymore, mainly just for these safety wraps and bottle sleeves. But it only takes 0.005% PVC contamination to start affecting PET recycling. Recycling issue number 3. It's not only mixes of plastic that causes issues, it's all the other materials that get bonded to plastic products. That could be anything from paper, metal, glue. Very effective packaging, very not recyclable. Issue 4. Contamination. Most post-consumer plastic has been used to do something. A lot of that is packaging our food or other products like toothpaste or moisturiser. Which unfortunately means that a lot of this toothpaste or moisturiser is still all over the plastic. Issue 5, downgrading. How we like to imagine recycling is that we throw our plastic bottles into the recycling bin, and then they go off and they get made into new bottles, which we can use and then throw. And the whole virtuous cycle continues. This is true of glass, and then and aluminium. But as we discovered, it's only true of 2% of our plastic waste. The vast majority of plastic that is recycled is actually downgraded. It is made into lower quality plastic material. So bottles get made into fleeces, carpets, stuffing, and
plastic park benches. The reason for that is again due to plastic and its long chain polymers. Ooh.
What? Recycling has two main actions: chopping up the plastic into flakes and then melting them down to form new products.
Ooh.
Both these processes damage the polymers, so what start as very specific, complex, long chains become a mix of different length, shorter chains, and the resulting polymers are far less specific. The truth is, most plastic is only recycled, at best, once. Recycling plastic is not a closed-loop solution, it's just delaying the inevitable. And as plastic ultimately has nowhere to go, it ends up being incinerated, or in landfill, or in our environment. So no, recycling alone is not the answer. Yes, we still need to recycle as much as possible of the plastic that we've already produced, but to really have better recycling, we would have to fundamentally redesign our plastic products. And if we're going to go to all that trouble, might we be better off using the opportunity to move away from oil-based plastics altogether? But is that realistic? Can bioplastics ever compete?
What is wrong with you?
Let's find out in the final episode.